Hi everyone, this is Chaplain Burson, and today's thought is about courage. In 1963, Dr. Stanley Milgram demonstrated in his social experiments the difficulty of standing up to authority. Participants of his experiment gave what they thought were painful, high-voltage shocks to others, in spite of their cries for help, simply because they were ordered to by the scientist in charge of the experiment. Milgram showed that it is difficult to stand up to authority, even if you know that it's wrong. But just a year before Milgram's research, in October of 1962, a Soviet naval officer demonstrated that it is possible to demonstrate that kind of courage. Vasily Arkhipov was aboard the nuclear-equipped submarine B-59 when they were sent to the waters around Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis. This was the tense standoff between the US and the Soviet Union when the buildup of nuclear weapons was detected in Cuba. It's been considered the closest that we have ever come to all-out nuclear war. And as the Soviet sub with Arkhipov aboard was discovered by the US Navy outside of Cuba, they descended to avoid detection. However, the sub was not made for such warm waters, and temperatures began to rise on board as the air conditioning failed and carbon dioxide levels rose. And tempers also became heated as the US dropped depth charges to force the sub to the surface. Cut off from radio communication, the submarine captain feared that war had broken out, and he decided to use the sub's nuclear torpedo to destroy the US ships on the surface. This likely would have triggered the US responding with their own nukes and would have ignited a war between two nations who had enough firepower to destroy the Earth 20 times over. Thankfully, the nuclear weapon required 3 keys controlled by 3 men to operate. And despite the insistence of the captain, Arkhipov was the lone man to refuse to fire the nuke. For this reason, many have considered this little-known man, Vasily Arkhipov, as the man who saved the world. There are moments where we will face pressure to comply with the group, even though we know it's wrong. But one of the ways that we can be most courageous is to do what's right amid the pressure to do the opposite. Though we may not literally save the world the way that Vasily Arkhipov did, as John F. Kennedy once said, one person can make a difference. Everyone should try. Blessings this week.